My name is Matt, and you're watching SIW Outdoors. That's Stepped In Wood Outdoors. And today we're going to be talking about something here a little different on the channel. If you're here, you're probably here because you're having a magnet separation on your Kohler Flywheel. And this is a very common issue on these. If your mower's not charging the battery and you have a Kohler engine, more than likely you have magnet separation. That adhesive on that flywheel, as time goes on, it heats up and it cools off, and it just starts to degrade. And over time, that adhesive will just start breaking loose, and all your magnets will just get jumbled together here on this here flywheel. And it's not going to charge because it's done messed up the polarity. They're not going to charge if they're bundled together like that. They got to have a little space in between them. You either have that issue, or the magnets have separated and they've made contact with your stator. And if that's happened, more than likely you're going to have to buy some new magnets. And let me tell you, you can't buy these magnets from Kohler. They want to sell you a whole flywheel with the magnets already on it. So you can't buy these. The only place to get them is used. You might be able to get them from a ATV or a mower salvage yard, or possibly on eBay. And they're not cheap, but they're a lot cheaper than a flywheel. And it's probably the best option you can have right here, because it's pretty simple to fix this here flywheel. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to get the polarity on your magnets, and I'm going to show you how to arrange them on the flywheel and what you're going to need. First off, you're going to have to go to the store and you're going to get you some JB Quick Weld. This stuff right here works great. I've rebuilt hundreds of these flywheels, and I haven't had anybody yet come back and say that they've had magnet separation again. I mean, this seems like a permanent fix, and I've been doing this for at least 15 years now. So that's some good stuff. You're gonna need that. You're also gonna need, and you're gonna need to go to Walmart or somewhere and get you some of these here, these wooden clothespin line clips. You're gonna need some of them, because them right there are gonna come in handy. I want to show you here in a minute. All right, first off, what you do is you remove that flywheel. Usually what I do is I just take the bolt off. You know, I got an impact, take that bolt off, and then what I'll do is I'll screw the bolt back down just a little bit on that flywheel. You know, well, get it almost down to where you just got just a little bit, you know, sticking up down here. And then what I'll do is I'll put me a pry bar under it, and I'll put a little pressure on it. And then I'll take me a big hammer, like a 3-pound, and I'll smack the top of that bolt a couple times while prying down, and most time it'll go ahead and pop right up. Another thing you can do to help that process, so you ain't just whooping it and breaking your bolt and stripping the threads out in there, you can also spray a little bit of oil or a WD-40 or some kind of oil in here, and that'll help break that loose when you tap on it. But make sure you get all that oil cleaned off before you put it back on, because this has to be dry when it goes back on. That shaft right there cannot be lubricated. If you do, you're going to strip your keyway out. It's not going to work. It's got to be dry, and it's got to be clean. So make sure you clean that oil off of this and off of your crankshaft on that lip right there. It's got to be clean. Can't stress that enough. It's got to be clean. All right, next thing you're going to do is, once you get it off, you're going to remove all them magnets, and then you're going to clean this here inside the flywheel up. You can just take a wire brush on a drill, and you can go around in here like so. Make sure you get it all clean where there's no adhesive left on it, and it's just nice and clean in there. And then you're going to take your magnets. If your magnets are okay, you're going to take these here magnets, you're going to take them in there and clean them up. You can do it on a wire wheel, but be careful now, because if that wire wheel grabs them and it throws them at the floor, they're done. You know, it's going to bust them. And another thing, when you're handling these magnets, you got to be very careful. I can't stress this enough. When you're putting them together, if you're going to put them together like this, you just get them up there and you just barely let them together. Do not let them slam together, because it'll crack right down the middle. You're done. It's probably best you don't even put them together. I got them together. I know how to handle them, and you know, I'm real careful with them. So there's not going to be a problem there. But anyway, I'm going to show you right now how to get the polarity on them. This is very important. Once you've got them all cleaned up, you're going to need to get your polarity, and this is how you can do that. I've got this is just a little retrieval magnet. You can get them at any parts store or anywhere. But you can see it's just a broke off retrieval tool it's like one of them rare earth magnets, I guess. You're going to get up here, And you see how that magnet's pushing? I'm trying to push it down. You do this on the edges of them. Okay, right there. You see how it's pushing me back up? All right. I just call that a pusher magnet or a negative magnet because it's negatively pushing it away. All right. And then I paint them magnets will all stick together. If they're the same polarity, they'll stick together and line up just like that right there. That's what you want to see. And then you paint it and get them marked, you know, so you know what you got there. All right. And then on the other set of magnets, what you'll do is you'll check. And this right here is what I call the polar magnet or your positive magnet pulling towards it. See that? It wants to go right to that end right there. All right. I just call that the positive or the polar magnet. And anyway, what you do is these magnets have got to be just like that on the flywheel. Just like that. You got to line them up just like that. And I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to bring you in here so you can see what to do. Yeah, don't let them do that. Don't let them smack together like I just did. That could have broke them. That wouldn't have been good. All right. Okay. I've got you set up here so you can see what we're doing here. All right. Now, what you want to do with these here magnets, after you got them all cleaned up, I would take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and I'd clean the back of them, and I'd also clean that inside right there with rubbing alcohol. You don't want to get all your oil from your hands on them. So what you want to do after you got your magnets marked and they are lined up like this, you want to take them, you want to go ahead and place them in here and get them where you want them. I like to just line it up with that. It don't really matter where they're lined up at in here. It matters, but it doesn't matter. You can put them, you can start anywhere you want. You don't have to be starting in a certain spot. But you need to make sure you put one of your pusher magnets, and then one of your polar magnets. You just want to do that right there. You just want to go around the flywheel, you know. That way you get your right polarity, and that's what you need to do. See that? All right. Now, that's where these right here come in, these clothesline clips. This is where you use these. You get the perfect spacing with these to put in, watch. See this right here? You just slip them in there, and that's going to be the perfect spacing for this. Get it right there. Just go ahead and line them all up and get them where you want them, you know, before you mix up your JB weld. And you just get it all in here just like so. See that? Get that in there. All right, and that's how they go right there. You just line them all up, and I'll show you right here. See that right there? It's one of the pushers, and there's one pulling to it. See how I did that? I just lined them up like that. That's what you want to do. And then you can use these, and it's the perfect spacing. It'll be perfect every time. All right, and after you get all your JB weld mixed up, you can take one of these, and you can go one at a time and just take your JB weld, you know, put it on the back, get you quite a bit on there, and then stick it back on. And then place your close clip in there, and just do it to all of them. You know what I'm saying. Just do it to all of them. Get them all nice and get some adhesive on all of them. But after you do that, and that adhesive's still a little wet, it'll take it a minute to dry. And while it's drying, these magnets, let me zoom that out. These magnets will slide down on you. So you'll have to watch them for a little while. Just don't walk off and leave it. Sit there and watch them and kind of make sure that you're keeping that magnet kind of lined up. It needs to be about like that right there. Just a little lip right there, you know. About like that. You know, and just kind of make sure they're all the same. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but it does have to be pretty much perfect on the spacing. But as far as the lip right here, I mean, you can kind of get down in there. You can kind of see where that lip is. That's about how it needs to be right there. And while you're at it, you could also grab you some paint, you know, after you let all this dry and get all that dried, and then you'll clean it up. What I do is I just go around in here with a wire wheel and, you know, clean all that excess off, because there'll be some that gets up around in here, and you'll probably get some on these surfaces. But you can go in there and clean all that up with a wire wheel. Just make sure it's dry or you'll knock the magnet off. But after it gets dry, you'll be fine. But what I like to do is I like to get some black paint and go in here and paint all that up, and then clean it all up a little bit and just make it look nice, you know, before you put it back on. But anyway, it's not rocket science. It's pretty easy. You should have no trouble with it. And get this set up. Anyway, it's pretty easy. You shouldn't have any trouble doing this, because I mean, it's not rocket science. If I can do it, you can do it. But it's the same on the V-twins. It's the same on the single cylinders. Those flywheels, I mean, it's the same process for all of them. And if you're looking at buying a whole new flywheel, keep in mind, just don't go on there and match up these here part numbers. You know, you got a part number right here. It don't matter. You're in there looking at pictures saying, hey, that right there's it. Well, this one's a lot cheaper because it's a single cylinder flywheel. I'm gonna tell you right now, you get one that's for a single cylinder, it is not gonna fit on that dang V-twin. This hole is gonna be way too big. It's bigger on the single cylinders than it is on the V-twin. And once you get it up there, it's just gonna be all over the place, because that shaft is gonna be way too big. I've been through it enough times to know. So if you're online and you're looking at a flywheel, make sure you get what you need. And don't just go by the price and what it looks like, because some of them single cylinders, they are going to be cheaper than the twin flywheels, because the twin, for some reason, they're harder to find. But you can buy a single cylinder flywheel and get the magnets off and use them on a twin, but you can't use the actual flywheel itself on a twin, because it's going to be machined differently. It's the same casting and everything, but that inside diameter will be machined differently. So keep that in mind. And I guess that's about it for the video. I think we pretty much covered it all. Heck, like and subscribe. That'll be payment enough for this. I mean, this is the stuff the shops don't want you to know, and I'm here telling you. So it's going to save you some money. You can do it yourself. It's not that hard. So yeah, just hit that like and subscribe button, and that'll be payment enough on that. We'll call it even. You know what I mean? Or you can just watch it and move on along. But if I helped you out, I'm glad I did. And I hope you get your mower going. I appreciate you watching, and have a good one, and come back to see us. Hey, here's my dog. Yeah, come on here and say hi. Heard me talking. All right. Okay. All right. I know. Here, I gotta get in and film this here video, boys. All right. You done? Just come say hi? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Here, let me get done with this, and then I'll tell you. Sorry about that. Just gotta, he probably won't be around forever, so you gotta stop and enjoy them while they're here. I know. All right.